Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back once again after the very first time to the Farts and Crap Show, where today, as per usual, it's your host Danjo here with part 14 of Armored Core, the PS1 version, here on Retro Classics. Hope you guys are all doing well today. And on today's episode, in case you guys are here just because of the title of the video, I'm just going to give you guys a quick little TLDR. In case, you're not here because you've been following the series. So here's the deal. I have a little bit of a hypothesis going that I've been saying for a while, but recently it's been kind of further confirmed. Not really confirmed yet. It's still speculative, but I'm just gonna go over the two pieces here real quick and then give you guys my analysis, pretty much. So recently the Elden Ring Night Rain network test has concluded. That was on the 16th of February 2025. And they kind of did a series of these tests. It was going for a while. And it's going to be a completely different online experience than the, don't want to say base game, but comparatively to Elden Ring. Because just the whole thing can be co-opted. So I'm assuming the netcode and stuff is going to be pretty different from Elden Ring. And how does this tie into Armored Core? Well, I mean, From Software makes Elden Ring, and for a long time they've been making Armored Core, since 1997, which is when this game came out. How it relates to what I'm talking about, though, is, in case you guys are unfamiliar, From Software has been quite busy on Armored Core 6 development over, well, kind of since the game's been out. Initially after release, it was a lot of rebalancing patches and stuff like that, but even just through, I want to say last 8 months, 7 months, something like that, they've been making a lot of changes to the game internally, changes that were not reflected in a lot of the patches they were putting out. And honestly, it's been a while since they've done a patch for the game. And even just the last couple patches were mostly just little balancing patches. It was nothing super substantial. And every time they put out a patch, it's a portion of the changes they made, which we can easily tell when they're making changes to the game thanks to SteamDB. And in case you guys want to follow the SteamDB page for Armored Core 6, this is the link for it, this is the page. And yeah, they made another series of changes. I think it's actually 4 change lists that they posted again, right after the network test concluded. And it's getting to that point where I really think they're getting ready to actually announce something. Because the timing, right? So initially, Armored Core 6 came out, at end of August 2023. So it's been a while. This is longer than From Software usually goes. After a game releases to confirm DLC or even release DLC, and it's pretty commonplace for like most of their games to get some kind of expansion or DLC. But they've been fairly quiet. Like they did like an episode or whatever for like Secret Level, and that was a cool little collaboration thing. And they had like a little bit of merch or whatever. But as far as updates to the game go, and like confirmed updates and everything, yeah, they've been fairly quiet. But I'm pretty sure they're getting close to actually saying something about it, because these past few months, if you like check the update history, yeah, they've been very busy. And it's not all Night Rain. Like, Night Rain is their focus right now, and they have a release date for it, and I'm sure that is going to have a following, right? Some people are going to be into it. I'm not going to be, because it's not the type of game. Anyway, I'll talk about that separately on a different video, but yeah, it's definitely not going to be their only strategy for 2025. Because, and I've talked about this at length before, but, and definitely during like Armored Core streams as well, but they always have like their safe bet project and their side project. And for now, like, just based on their timeline and everything, Armored Core 6 is actually their safe bet. Like, kind of. Like, Night Rain is probably going to do well, but in case it doesn't, I think they really want to get more people into Armored Core 6, because it sold okay. Like, it sold better than they expected, but it still sold like a fraction of Elden Ring. And the people that really enjoyed it, myself included, one of the only criticisms was that it's a fairly short game if you're just trying to beat it once. I think the length is totally fine if you're treating it like other Armored Core games. If you've been playing for a long time, it's pretty commonplace for people to go for completion rather than just beating the game, which is a whole different story. And you don't typically get the entire experience unless you complete the game, which is part of the reason for this series. But I think part of their strategy is to add value to the game. And I'll tell you one thing. All the people I've talked to about this game that have played it and enjoyed it have at least at one point brought this up and said, hey, there's no co-op. I was like, well, yeah, Sekiro didn't have co-op, you know? But it is kind of weird, because FromSoft games typically have some kind of cooperative multiplayer, like online experience. And yeah, Armored Core did not, and like Armored Core typically doesn't. I think they're adding co-op with the DLC. But I think they realized that it's not necessarily going to work flawlessly with the netcode that they had in place for Elden Ring. Because, like, Elden Ring's a great game. The online multiplayer is a fantastic experience, but Armored Core 6 is faster paced. So what I think they're doing, and how this relates to Night Rain and everything, is on that's going to be something they're going to optimize as much as possible for Night Rain. Because that's the focus of the game. It's supposed to be shorter, the whole thing is co-op, blah blah blah. And that's been kind of a common criticism of a lot of FromSoft games over the past like 10 years. It's just like comparatively to other games in the same market, not even the same market, in the same like genres and stuff, their online seems a bit lacking. But at least it's there. And like even recently when I was playing Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, the PS4 version, there are people still very active on that game. That came out in 2014, like over 10 years ago now. Like when they have a hit, it's something that, yeah, the fan base kind of keeps it alive, but you kind of have to reignite that fan base, and I don't think Armored Core 6 did that enough for the mass appeal kind of genre. But like Mecha is back, like the Gundam series has been doing better. There's more games in the genre. There's more interest. And I think they just need to sweeten the deal for Armored Core 6. So I think it's not going to be a simple DLC. It's going to be an expansion. And there's going to be a free update as well, obviously, when it comes out. But like, it's already sold beyond their expectations. So I think if they just sweeten the deal, add some more content, and that new feature of having co-op in the game, maybe not retroactively adding co-op into all of the missions necessarily, although that would be great, to be real. I just think it's very possible, and I think it's the easiest and most obvious answer to essentially sell a lot more Armored Core, because for FromSoft, I like, obviously they have other projects that they're cooking outside of things we know, because right now it's just Night Rain, and Armored Core 6 is the most recent full game. Like, Night Rain isn't even a full price game. It's not like, I don't think they're going to get the nearly as much of the fan base from Elden Ring to Night Rain. Because yes, there's a drop-off. There's like the general appeal stuff, and like Elden Ring had a fantastic launch, did super well. Like, I think they've sold like 30 million copies now or something like that. And then when Shadow of the Erdtree came out, the dedicated fan base was there, and they were so for it. And it was great. It was super good, and it sold like 5 million copies. I don't know what they're up to now. But 5 out of 30 for your sales for the base game? Like 1 in 6? It's not great. Like, it's good in general, but could have been a lot better. So I think they're repositioning the Armored Core 6 DLC because of Shadow of the Erdtree, and kind of using Night Rain as kind of a testing ground for not just, you know, Night Rain being good, obviously, and having improved netcode and stuff, and like, it has to functionally work well in order for the game to actually do well. It has to be easy to hop on and play, and like with your friends and all that stuff, and just kind of work to, you know, to do well. Like, it's not... Because if that's not it, if they're not doing this expansion for Armored Core 6 and like adding some stuff to it that is going to increase the value of the game like that, like, I highly doubt it's just going to be like new missions and new parts and some new levels and stuff, like what we pretty much come to expect from a FromSoft DLC, like, you know, Ashes of Ariandel or Ring City or any of the Dark Souls 2 DLCs or, you know, any of them. Like, it just seems like the most likely answer at this point in time. Because if it's not, like, they're definitely working on something. And like, I don't know, man. I think probably what they're gonna do the other thing too is, like, I don't know when they're going to announce this, like, and release it. I don't think there's going to be a long wait time between announcement and release, honestly. Because Night Rain comes out, what, May? Like, 30th? Is that right? Hold on. Actually looking this up right now. Because I wasn't going to go into, like, speculation of, Here, let's just go ahead and get that off screen. It's been on screen for a while. Let's see. Night Rain release date. Let's see. Night Rain network test. Oh, here we go. Night Rain release date. Yeah, it's May 30th. Okay. So May 30th, right? Like, FromSoft is very good about positioning. So it's been a bit of a dry spell recently for, like, releases in general. And we know, like, the Switch 2 thing is happening on April 2nd. But March is looking pretty open. And we have, like, I don't know if we had the State of Play recently. So, like, Sony obviously has a large stake in FromSoft, or Katakawa and FromSoft. And I was kind of expecting them to announce it during that. They didn't, although they did announce the original Armored Core trilogy is coming to PS Plus, which is pretty cool. But the next big thing is Summer Game Fest. Or Summer Games Fest, I guess? Which I think is happening in June? June 6th. And actually, let me make sure I'm actually following them real quick. Oh, I am following them. Yeah, June 6th is when Summer Game Fest starts. And, like, in the past, like, FromSoft has announced things before, for things like the Game Awards and Tokyo Game Show. Those aren't until the end of the year. And they do like to do, like, summer releases as well, which, I mean, Night Rain It's late May, so I mean that would cover that. But I think they're gonna do it before. Like, and like the Switch 2 hype is gonna be real, like after after Nintendo puts that stuff out, so, and they're gonna get a lot more third-party support, so I wouldn't even be surprised if like some fairly recent FromSoft games are gonna get Switch 2 ports. But like it's kind of late. Like I said before, like the turnaround time is kind of long, because August was what, like the 8th month in the year, so September, October, it was late August, but September, October, November, December, January, February, so that was 6 months. So it's been a year and a half since the game came out. Which, yeah, that's... It's about that time. Like, it's a little bit past that time, but, you know, it's about that time for them to come out with a DLC for it. So, I mean... And I made a post about this a while, like, pretty recently. And I was like, you know, I thought they were going to say something at the State of Play, but maybe not. Like, they might just announce it on a random Tuesday, so as long as we're getting speculative with it, here, I'm going to go ahead and throw a prediction out for you guys. Let's see... And they're not going to announce anything before Monster Hunter Wilds comes out. Like, no. People realize Capcom is cooking, and people are stoked for that game. So they're likely going to wait at least... Because again, FromSoft is very good at positioning. They're smart about timing their stuff correctly. And as far as things that are confirmed, they're probably going to give it like 2 weeks. So let's say... And it might just coincide with the holiday. Oh, actually, in Japan, White Day, right? Oh, they had that white AC. What was that from? Was that 4 Answer? He was like main bad guy? White Glint. White Glint is from... Dude, if they brought back White Glint in 9-Ball, the expansion... And other people have made this, like... Oh my goodness. Somebody else made a post about this. Colony, originally a raven. Mercenary. Okay, that doesn't help. White Glint would hold up against Rubicon's corporate ACs. Yeah. Yeah, White Glint would destroy them. The original White Glint, pilot of AC4 Answer, Glint was the protagonist. Yeah, that's actually my career. Yeah, so he was from 4. Yeah, they'll probably bring back some fan favorites like Valkyrie as well. Would be cool to see come back. Although they do have... Actually, I don't want to drop Armored Core 6 spoilers. Never mind. So I'm gonna say March... Oh, right, that's what I was looking at. I think it's March 14th. I think it's a month after Valentine's Day. White Day is celebrated annually on March 14th, 1 month after Valentine's Day. Yep. So that'd be cool. Like, tie it into White Day, like, bring back White Glint and, like, Valkyrie and 9-Ball and... Oh, and also Evangel and Jacko, that'd be cool. Maybe Genobi. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Anyway, are we actually gonna do gameplay on this episode? Maybe a little bit, I don't know. We might do like one mission real quick. So yeah, March 14th. That's my prediction. The timing just seems about right, but I doubt they're gonna announce anything before Monster Hunter Wilds. Cause like the hype is gearing up, like so hard right now. People are just like chomping at the bit. Like yeah, FromSoft is doing like, you know, their network test for Night Rain, but that's not... Like they're staying consistent, at least with the messaging and stuff, and people that have actually got their hands on it are just like, oh dude, Night Rain, what? From Software is cooking with this, like it's different, but like in a good way. And I'm like, alright, whatever. You have fun with that. And in case you guys are curious, like, man, why isn't Danjo excited for Night Rain? I didn't even try to get into the network test. There's a couple of aspects to it. Actually, I made a video on it. What would I call that video? What is Night Rain? I talked all about it, but if you want the short version, a couple of deal breakers. The preset characters, like no customization. And the short, like the structure. Like I do love randomizers and shit. I absolutely adore that kind of thing. But the fact that it's like a world state that only lasts like 40 minutes in like a shrinking zone kind of a thing with a preset character, I'm just like, no dude, I don't care. Like if it was more of a roguelite kind of a thing, that'd be kind of cool, I guess. And I get their, you know, obviously they would be... it would be a missed opportunity to not like try to capitalize on Night Rain a little bit more, or Elden Ring a little bit more. So like it totally makes sense to have like a spin-off game that's like, you can have other people within FromSoft like develop in a faster method and like reuse a bunch of assets, but like completely change like the style of game and stuff. That just makes sense for their business strategy right now, because I don't think they have a safe bet project that's like ready to go in at least like in 2025. And like again, the landscape is pretty different now for like the gaming industry, so like FromSoft isn't really doing what they used to do, where they would have like a release like once a year. Isn't this the second Exterminate Organisms? Didn't we already do this? Yeah, this is the second one. So they might have something like that in 2026, but for this year, it's probably just Night Rain and Armored Core 6 DLC. Like, I doubt they'll have another, like, surprise release. And, like, I don't think the Armored Core trilogy, the original trilogy coming to PS Plus, is any coincidence, that either. I think it's intentional. But they're like, hey, let's get some of these games on PS Plus, that'll be real easy, we just gotta settle the licensing thing with Age Tech, or however that worked out with the publishing thing. And then put them on there. Plus, like, PlayStation obviously wants to bolster their offerings on PlayStation Plus, add some value there, and they're starting to, like, scrape the barrel for things they can put on there without paying, like, licensing stuff to other companies. So, you know, they already have a lot of their first-party stuff on there. It's, like, easy to get. Okay, so Exterminate Organisms, this is definitely part 2. Destroy Space Catapult. And according to my notes, it says neither have hidden parts. Okay. So I'm gonna do this one real quick. Actually, how are we doing on time? We're already at half an hour. Oh, and I already turned off the thing. Oh, shoot. Oh, geez. Okay. You know, I'm just gonna leave it there, because I just remembered I have to do something, and we're kind of at time anyway. By the time I finish the outro, we'll be at time. So yeah, this episode actually didn't have any gameplay. It's just kind of a rant and stuff, but yeah, it was just some ideas I want to get out there. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, because they're definitely working on something. Like the SteamDB page confirms that, and the fact that they're also being tight-lipped about it is kind of strange. Just seems like DLC seems like a foregone conclusion, especially based on like what we've seen from Software do for the past, like, you know, several years now. But yeah. Like, yeah, it seems like the most likely situation. But who knows, maybe they'll actually announce it sooner. I doubt they'll announce it sooner, just because Monster Hunter Wilds, like, that's the main thing. But anyway, thank you all for being here, greatly appreciate it, hope you enjoyed. Of course, before we get going, it's time for the outro. You know, special thanks, the updates, all that good stuff, and a very special thank you going out to the current Farts and Crap Show members, which at the time of recording is Novalis Triconis, Aaron Schick, 97 Johnny Boy, and Big Diary Dump. Thank you so very much for choosing to support the show a bit more directly via channel membership. It vastly helps out. Very much appreciate it. And if you guys want to be incredibly awesome like these amazing people and get in on all those membership benefits, check out that join button down below. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's no join button for you. There's also a link in the description that talks about becoming a channel member. That does the same thing. And before we get into membership tiers, a quick little word on YouTube handles. That is why 97 Johnny Boy has an @ symbol in front of the screen name there. that is a YouTube handle. They're unique identifiers that help with navigation here on YouTube quite a bit. And he has a channel of his own. It's great stuff. Highly recommend it, which you can easily go check out just by going to youtube.com/@97johnnyboy. You can also punch a handle into YouTube search. It will narrow down your results significantly. But yeah, membership tiers start at $3 a month. That's only 10 cents a day. Gets you into all the basic stuff, including getting to vote on the series get made here on the channel via the Members' Choice Polls. It's a thing we do once a month for a full 7 days over on the membership tab, and that is how all of the series get decided. So we still have the one for February coming up. At the very latest, it's going to be starting on the 21st. That is the start of the final week of the month, since February 2025 only has 28 days. So the series to follow this one has already been decided. Series to follow Tears of the Kingdom has already been decided. Series to follow Sekiro has not been decided yet. That's not going to be ending for quite some time, since that's going to be a complete series. So there's definitely time on that one. So I don't know, this one might be stream related. I'm not really sure at the time of recording. I need to get that figured out once I get caught up with like scheduling and recording and all that stuff. But yeah, I'll have a future announcement for you guys to let you know like when that's going to be happening, what it's going to be. And if you want all the announcements as they happen and the bell doesn't work for you, I totally get it. The bell doesn't work for me either, and getting announcements as they happen is kind of the best way. So there's 4 ways you can do that without relying on the bell. We have the post tab here on the channel, the Farts and Crap Show Twitter /X, the Bluesky, or the Discord. I always post on all 4 whenever there's an announcement, so regardless of which one of those works for you, you can stay up to date. And links for those are down in the description and also on the channel banner. And also on the Discord and the Twitter and the Bluesky, I also just cover all kinds of random stuff, kind of like I did in this video, so if you enjoyed it, yeah, definitely give some of those a follow. But yeah, it's gonna do it for now. So thank you all once again for being here, guys. Till next time, take care, and I hope you all have a beautiful day.